Hi. Welcome to the Human Design for Marketing podcast. I'm your host, Yvette Mayer, and this show's for you if you're done with cookie cutter marketing and ready to build your personal brand in alignment with who you really are. Let's dive in. Hello, this is Yvette. Welcome back to the Human Design for Marketing podcast. I am really grateful that you're here with me, that you tune in regularly, or if you're new, hi and welcome. Make sure you go back. There are so many epic episodes to sink your teeth into. This share today is going to be a quick one, a very quick one. The reason being, if you follow me on social media, you may already know this, but my beloved, best friend and companion of 14 years, Chilli Sparkles, my caboodle, went to doggy heaven, 5 days ago. It was completely out of the blue, so shocking. I am still processing, going through grief. It's big. It's really big. I do feel slightly better today. What is this, day 5? But that doesn't mean I won't be floored later. So I'm taking it really easy. And I'm also in a position where I can do that, which is part of the benefit, I guess, of building a business with your values front and center. I have a very high value around freedom, which I'm sure many of you listening do as well. And I've continued to optimize my business towards more of that. And so it was completely not planned, but the universe doing its magic when this all happened last Friday morning. And I looked at my calendar this week and I literally had no calls. I didn't have a single program container call. I was in the week in between for most of my private clients. There was one who was more than happy to push her call off for a week. And I was able to press pause for the most part on my day-to-day. Now, to be fair, I haven't not worked because I've been finding that when I put my attention and actually engross myself in something, that I get a bit of relief. And so I have been doing a little bit of work when I'm feeling like doing that and actually enjoying it, and then, going through what you go through, kind of when that stops and you're like, oh, that's right. That's my reality now. Anywho, the reason I wanted to do this quick share is because I'm in response. I'm doing a generator in response thing. Last night, I went to my local community, meditation community event. So backstory, I've probably mentioned this on the podcast before, but I am a Vedic meditator. I did the training to learn how to be a Vedic meditator over a year ago. I am not as consistent as I would like to proclaim. This is a style of meditation that is strongly encouraged. You do 20 minutes twice a day. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. And the great thing about it is the guy that has brought this to my community, which is in a place called Nowra, is that he's a much younger guy than me, but he has a similar backstory. He moved to New York. He was in advertising. He burnt out. He took up meditation because he was going through burnout. And he was from this little town in southern New South Wales called Nowra. He never, ever expected that he would move back to Nowra. And then in this reawakening of his life, he started to think about a higher purpose. And his higher purpose has become to bring this style of meditation, or meditation in general, to communities in Australia. And he's doing that through a project here in my local community. He has a business called Be Here Nowra. I should actually get him on for a chat sometime. And this month, he and his partner, his new girlfriend, are co-hosting a whole month of additional events. So not just meditation, but wisdom talks and retreats and all sorts of amazing stuff. And I went, because I was trying to distract myself, to the very first of these talks last night. And it was a talk about the fusion or the intersection between technology and wellness. And it ended up being such an amazing experience for me, because the two founders that he had there, it was kind of like a fireside chat. One of them is similar age to me and probably similar background, grew up in Sydney, worked overseas, all of that. And he became a meditator, I don't know, more than 10 years ago. And he has since actually gone on. Oh, you're going to die when I tell you this. He actually launched Insight Timer, the app. Uh, and he and his brother co-founded it and launched and ran that for many years, sold out of that last year or a little bit longer ago. And now he and his new business partner are working on I'm not the best at explaining this, but a blockchain, let's call it a token called 108, which is all around bringing well-being to the blockchain. Now, that sounds really interesting, and it was more interesting than I expected. But the thing that I wanted to share with you today is his complete conviction and passion for building a conscious business. And so this guy talked a lot about how, what's his name? Nico Plowman. He talked a lot about how he, since leaving the corporate environment and becoming more and more conscious as a human, believes in running business from a place of conscience ahead or conscious in ahead of commercialism. So this means building a business that is based on values, that considers the long-term impact beyond self and on the environment, on humans, that comes with a lot of faith and trust that the universe will actually partner in you succeeding when you are conscious in your approach to business. And it really got me thinking about my own business evolution and trajectory and how much I've changed from being more focused on commercial and selling and more need to make the most money possible and having money as my number one measure of success, to today where I'm much more values based. But this takes it a whole nother step, right? Where you actually start making all your business decisions based on, is this aligned to my values? And it could be aligned to your design. Is it going to make a positive difference, a positive impact? Am I respecting the environment, the people that work with me, the teams, the way I run the business? Do I do this with heart and soul? And do I trust that because I'm doing this for the greater good, that things are not going to happen when I want them to all of the time? So the business team that were chatting to us were sharing that their venture, which they hope is going to be live in 6 months' time, has been 3 years in the making. They expected it to have been well and truly out in the world a couple of years ago, but for a myriad of reasons, mostly I think the economy and blockchain and all things, going a bit haywire, they were not able to do it. And then now, and because they're both so conscious and this is their number way of running the business, they just accepted that it wasn't the right time and that they were going to have to be patient and trust that everything happens when it's meant to, and keep, I guess, innovating in the space and creating more and more frameworks around what it is going to be, and be really cool and calm. Now, I will say this. I mean, if you sell out of Insight Timer, you are not going to be having to worry about paying the bills. So there's a level of a luxury in here. There definitely is a level of luxury. Like they both have financial success. They're both from like money markets, like huge portfolio investments, all that kind of background. And so I think, yes, being completely conscious in the way they described it may be a luxury for some who cannot afford to be. But I do think that for the most part, those listening to this podcast can afford to be. And maybe afford to be looks like having a part-time job or doing other things to manage paying the bills until the conscious business is robust enough to be sort of not just providing a great lifestyle for you, but ticking all of those boxes. So I thought this was just a really interesting topic to bring to the podcast, understanding you, the audience, and what is important to you. And I'm going to keep thinking about this as part of my ethos for my business. So watch this space. I'll definitely explore this more. I know there's a business book called Conscious Business, so I'm going to get that. And I think as human design, well, people that either have a human design business or are very attuned to their design, I think we are the type of business owners that this will resonate with. And I wanted to invite you to start thinking about how conscious you are in your business. And I might as well say, Vedic meditation is amazing. And I think the more that we are adopting this kind of modality as a way of supporting ourselves, we become more grounded, we become more present, and that helps us become more conscious as humans and as business owners. I'm going to wrap up now. I hope you've enjoyed this short but different and powerful episode, and I'll be back with you soon. Bye for now. There are heaps more resources in the show notes. I can't wait to be back in your ears again soon. Bye for now.